Okay, so turning on the computers on a Sunday morning. This one is for um, the slides for the front. Right around the back, there's a button right on the corner, kind of on the corner back, and then the back. You just press that and hold until you hear the chime. Also, that light will turn on. And then your screen should come on if no one turned it off. And then we type in the password. The passwords are located on the paper right there. Hopefully I'm not making you too dizzy. And I apologize, I'm gonna make you wait while I do this real time in front of you. Then we wait for it to load. I'm gonna come over here one moment and get my list. Wasn't thinking that far ahead. Waiting for it to load. So this is for Propresenter for the slides. This is what everyone will see on the TVs so they can follow along with slides and sermon. Okay. So automatically Propresenter should open up. If not, it is this yellow icon right there. And all the stuff you can usually just do. Remind me later. We don't want to update anything by choice during service. There has been a time or two when it's done it automatically. Usually when it does it that way, it's because someone clicked do this in an hour type of thing. So we just want to make sure we ignore it or say do it tonight or tomorrow when it asks us to update. And that update I've tried to do 3 times and it hasn't gone through. So I'm just moving on with our lives. And so here we have, over here we have Sunday. We just had Easter, so that's there right now. I'm gonna move this prayer night up here because Sundays and prayer night are usually what we use. So we're gonna click on Sunday. And then over here you'll see there's a family camp promo video. We don't always have videos, it's actually a rarity, but if we do, all you have to do when you're running it is click and it'll come up here, and then you click this play button and it'll show on the TVs as well as be sending sound to the soundboard. So that'll be up to the sound technician to make sure the sound is coming through. So whenever you do videos, you want to communicate with your sound neighbor and tell them, hey, are you ready? Yeah, okay, let's go. And then you press play. And then over here, you can fast forward 15 seconds or you can pause. So I would suggest pausing at the end of a video before you click onto the next slide, because sometimes the video, if you click to the next slide right at the end of a video, it could restart the video if it's one that's playing on a loop for us. And the song list is not loading for some strange reason on my tablet, so let me try this again. I also have my computer. So if you do music stand, your list will look like this and the song should be in here. If you are doing services, either one of those will work to show you the song lists. Sorry for this long pause. We're just waiting for the website to respond. There we go. Services. And then we want to go to My Schedule or Plans and click on the next one that usually the one that's My Schedule will only show the dates that you're scheduled for. Depending on what we've set your abilities at, you might only be able to see those. You might also be able to see other plans that you're not on by clicking plans. Up at the top here, there, when you go to services, My Schedule, plans, some of these might not be available for you if you don't have the right authorization. And you really only need to see the ones that you're setting up, unless that changes in the future. So on this list we can see I Thank God, Joy, Only King Forever, He who is to come, his name is Jesus. So we're going to set those up. Those are all new those are all songs we've done before, so they're not new, so they shouldn't be too hard. So we come up here to songs, and then we search for I think, and it starts coming up, so I don't even have to type it all in. And then we click and hold and drag it to Sundays, and you can drop it, but then it'll go to the bottom of the list. But if you click and hold and hover, then it'll show you Sundays, and you can put it right in order where you want it, and it'll automatically pop up here. So let's do the next song is Joy. So I click on songs again at the top, and then in here, click on Joy. And it's Joy, What the World Calls Foolish. Gonna click and hold and drag to Sunday, hover and wait, and then put it right in order. And the next one's Only King Forever. So songs, Only King Forever. Oh, I didn't even have to type it all in, but I did. And then drag that up to Sundays, put it in order, back to songs, then go to the filter, and He Who Is to Come, He Who Is to Come. Click and hold, drag to Sunday, hover and wait, put it in order, back to songs, filter. His name is Jesus, his name. And then if you look at the song list, this won't always be the case, but down here, it's under his name is Jesus, it says chorus and maybe bridge. So we don't need to have the whole song there when we set it up. So we're going to do that together in a moment. So Sundays, and that is the order. Now, if you scroll down, there are some songs listed at the end. The King is Among Us and I Speak Jesus. So let's put those in. So back to songs, filter, the King. Now, we might do some of these after the sermon. We have Andrea Van Zyl this week, so I don't know what that's going to look like. So we're just prepared to have some extra songs in case there is some sort of altar time where they want us to sing. Many times during the altar time, they want us to not sing, so we won't be pulling up lyrics. And then, of course, if it's like we end, here we're adding I Speak Jesus. If we end on more of a high note and we want to do a fast song, and you notice these two are slow songs, then we'll probably do one of the songs from the beginning of the set again. So now we want these all on normal for the most part. So I thank God. This already says normal there, and we can click up here on this icon to look at the order of the different parts. And if you're not sure what order it should be in, you can either put that in during practice if they're doing them in order, or when you're looking in here on Planning Center, you can click this little paperclip icon, and it'll bring up the files associated with this, and then you can click on the song, and if the song is laid out in order for you, like this one is, then it'll tell you what order to put it in. So you'll see verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus. Let me go back to Planning Center, and you see we have verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus. I put in the instrumental sections too, just so you could have a blank screen during that time. I don't do that on all the songs. And then we have verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, back here. So after this instrumental, then verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. And then coming back to the song again. Then we have bridge, and it looks like it repeats. 2 times here and then another 2 times here. Now that kind of repeat may or may not happen exactly the way that we plan. We might do it more. So let's see what our bridge looks like. So this is our bridge, it's in green. So let's scroll till we see some green. And it looks like it has all the words there and then says repeat. So that's nice. So we don't have to drag the bridge into the order multiple times because it just says repeat already there. So that's why the bridge is only in there once. And then back here after the bridge we have the chorus, and then bridge 2, and then chorus again. So then we come back here. So after this bridge we then have chorus, bridge 2, and chorus again. So that's all in order and good to go. And then we never want to leave this open, because during a service you might, if you click on this X, then it goes away, and if you do that on a verse, then you won't have the words available to you readily, unless you know how to do this and you're really comfortable, and you can open this up and drag it back in. So it's best to keep those closed unless you're looking at them or editing them. So then we come over to Joy, What the World Calls Foolish, and it does not say normal next to it. So we're gonna come back here to that icon, and it's on the master right now, so we want to go to normal. Master is just one of everything that you've put in there and labeled, and then normal is how the song is laid out the way that we normally do it in church, is all that is. And then if we go to Only King Forever, this already says normal by it, so we're going to leave it alone. He Who Is to Come does not say normal by it, so we're going to click on this and see if there is a normal, because this is a newer song, but we have done it. Okay, good. So it's already in there for the normal setting. Good. So we selected normal. And now we come over to His Name is Jesus. That also does not say normal, but remember in our list, let me close out this view, His Name is Jesus says chorus and maybe bridge. So we want to do a version that only has the chorus and bridge, just so all the other stuff isn't in our way. We don't have to scroll through all of it. So coming over here to that icon, we're going to click that. And it's saying master, and then there is a normal, but we want to add a new arrangement. So add new arrangement, and let's call this chorus and bridge. And then click OK. And so now it automatically, in a new arrangement, it automatically puts one of everything in, so it looks just like the master. So now we do want to use these little circle delete buttons, these little X's, because all we want is the chorus and the bridge in there. And it just says chorus and bridge. It doesn't tell you which bridge, so I would just leave them both. This is one of those instances where you're just going to have to follow. So you normally, when we do slides, we want to click right as we're starting the bottom line, because our brain will automatically, once we've said counselor, we know Almighty God's coming, and so our brain works that it'll fill that in for us, and we can, so let's say we're on this slide, if you look over here, and we're saying His name is Jesus, His name is Jesus, His name is Wonderful Counselor, then we would click here, even though we haven't finished the line, and then it'll, so that it can go to the next part. That's how we normally want to run a song, but in a situation like this where all the directions tell you is chorus and maybe bridge, you don't know how many times everything's going to get repeated or even where you're going, so it's totally fine to wait till you know where you're going and just be ready. So if I was doing this and I didn't know where we were going, I would do His Name is Jesus. Let me put a different background. His name is Jesus, His name is Jesus, His name is Wonderful Counselor would be where I'd normally click, but instead I'm just going to let it finish Almighty God. And then I'm going to be ready to click on He is Counselor, but I'm going to realize that bridge 2 starts with We Worship You. So depending on what the singer does, if they say He is Counselor, then I'm just going to immediately click on that and bring that up. Or if they start singing We Worship You, then I'll be ready to just move and click that one instead. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we have all the songs in. I didn't really show you how to edit any because these all look great, but we do want to add a background. So down here in media, there's a whole bunch of things that I don't know how to get rid of other than there we go. And under this playlist that we don't need, the pro content, you have to buy those for the most part. So we're going to playlists and motion backgrounds, and it's not a special Sunday at all. So I do have some spring motion backgrounds. We could look at those and pick one of them. And I'd pick one that has a lot of darkness, or at least the color, so that the white pops out easily. Let's see how we like this one on the words. See, most of the words are really easy to pick. That only has 3 lines, so let's check one with 4 lines. So that top line might be hard for some people. So in that case, if you have a background you really want to use, but it has a little bit of lightness that's making it hard for people to read the white lettering, all you do is come over here to themes, and then we have our normal, which is what we normally do, and then a theme, or we can do the black the normal black outline. So it's just like the normal, only the black outline is bigger. The normal has a black outline, but it's not very big. So we want to come here, click on the first slide of the song, and then come down to the keyboard and press Command A. So that's all. It will select everything. So if this was a PC, if you do this normally on a PC, it's Control A, but on a Mac, it's Command A. So as I press, I'm going to press and hold down the Command button, and then I'm going to press A, but I'm going to show you what it looks like up here. Oh, and I pressed something while I was pressing Command, so it did that. So clicking on the first slide, Command, hold it down, and then press A. Now notice everything just went to being highlighted in blue. So now any theme you pick will go on all the slides. So I'm going to pick the normal black outline, so we know that there's more of a black outline. And that you click it, and then it makes you click it again. And then the letters went a little bit smaller, but they also, if you notice, have much more of a black outline. So it's a lot easier to read when there's a bit of a light background there. So we're just going to do that picture on all the songs because it's spring is in the air. And then we're going to click on the first slide, press Command A so that they're all highlighted, and we're just going to change them all to that theme. And it automatically, since I just used that one, it automatically comes up, so now it'll be a one click for you. And all it did was make them a little bit darker. And then Only King Forever. So to put that background on, we click and hold, slide it and drop it. Click, hold, slide, drop. Oh, I didn't have just one. Click, hold, slide, and drop. And then again, we're going to change the background, Command A, the theme. Now the normal theme is usually good if you have darkness all throughout the picture. Actually, I'm going to actually edit the theme. So let's do edit. I don't know if it'll let me do it. Let me click on theme and edit. Here's a little pencil icon. We're going to click on that. And I'm actually going to just, because it keeps on making the text go off of just the one line it was on before. So I'm just going to make this box bigger and wider. And then I'm going to move it around till I get that yellow plus sign on it so that it's perfectly in the middle. And then that automatically saves. So now we click show to get out of any kind of editing thing we're doing. So now I'm going to actually go back up to the first song because that did it with that one too. Command A, theme. There, see that vagabond jumped to that line because it was the extra black outline made it a lot longer than it was previously. And then here, just do this again, Command A, theme, and then Only King Forever, Command A, theme. And notice, if you noticed, some of those lines got shorter. This one over here was like way too many lines. Normally when you're making this, you want to have 4 lines, but depending on how the music is laid out, you really want to go by where the breaks in the music are. And so sometimes you might have 3 or 5. If you need 6, then you want to switch it to having 2 slides that have 3 instead of putting 6 on a slide, because it's just too much. And then He Who Is to Come, we're going to click Command A, theme, black outline. That looks gorgeous. His name is Jesus. Oh, I kept that open, so let me close that. Click Command A, theme, outline. Oh, and I didn't put the background on, so let me put the background on. Did I put the background on all the other ones? I did. Okay, good. And then we'll do the ones at the end just in case we use those. Same thing, click Command A, theme, normal with the black outline. I Speak Jesus. Put the background on, click Command A, theme, normal black outline. Okay, so everything is set up now to go for Sunday. And so when we're running the slides, if you want, so over here, this is showing what's on the TVs for you. So if you just want the words to go away because we're doing like a prayer time or a special, I'm just someone's just singing stuff that's we don't have words for, then we just click this box here and the words go away, or you can click it. And then to get the words back, you would just need to click on that again, and now the words are back. The other thing you can do is this button here, it takes away the background. So if something weird is on the background, you can do that. Also, anything you click down here will become the background. So we're gonna click that one of whatever you're doing right then. But then once you go to a new song that has a different background, when you click on those words, it'll change to that background again. So again, so there's that. So that's the song lyrics. Now we also want announcements. So we actually have announcements. We have a slide that just is called Announcements Weekly. So what I've been doing is updating these weekly. Instead of having a new announcement file every week, just update this as we go. So I'm going to put this on Sundays, hover again under announcements, put that there, and now we're going to edit the announcements. We want the welcome. For now, we're keeping the emails till Pastor Seth says we don't need that up there anymore. Our new website, we're keeping up ways to give. Good Friday's over, so we're going to click and right click and click on delete. And then Resurrection Sunday, that's over, right click, delete. This Sunday is Andre Van Zyl, so we're gonna leave that. TBQ, practices, we're gonna leave. Sunday morning prayer, we're gonna leave. Wednesday night Bible study, we're gonna leave. Generations, we're gonna leave. And then we actually have 2 to add. So if you have a device that you can drop, airdrop from, this is really easy. Let's see here, downloads. And so here I have the May slides. Let's see here, and we have a youth prom and a men's outing to Topgolf. So I'm just gonna, so this is for anyone that is using another Apple device to easily put stuff on here. So shift and click. So now I have both of those highlighted. Those are the only 2 new new slides for this week. So then I'm gonna come up here to the share icon and I'm gonna click on AirDrop. And now this, oh, I have Bluetooth turned off, sorry. And so this is showing my phone, and then the Mac Mini came up, and that's what we're doing. So we just click on the Mac Mini, and then automatically up in the corner here, it'll say, hey, this is trying to airdrop to you. Do you want to? And you're like, yes, we're going to accept it. And then do you want to put it in photos or downloads? We put everything in downloads just so we can find it real easy. And so now we come down here to Finder and we find them, which is really easy because it usually opens up right to what you downloaded. But if it doesn't, then if you click downloads, it'll be right there at the top. And you can select both of these by clicking one and then command and click, hold command and click the other. Now you can do both. And we're going to go here to our announcement slides playlist in the media and put it in there. We're going to add it to the end here. Oh, and it went away because I started using the Propresenter, so we just need to click on here for the Finder again, and then here you can click, hold, and drag, and it'll add those 2 into Propresenter for you. So pictures are really nice and easy to add to Propresenter. So now I want to put these in order of the date, and the prom and the men's golf are both on May 3rd, but men's golf is probably going to be in the morning or afternoon. Youth prom is in the evening, so we're going to put them in order of that. And what I like to do for the announcements is I put everything that's a new event or an upcoming event after the ways to give slide and in order, and then I put the things that are weekly or like more further out. Now we are coming up on May, so I'm going to move this generations from the end to there, and then we're going to put Topgolf. So to do that, we click and hold the picture. and we drag it, and then you'll notice when you put it in between in just the right spot, a blue line will pop up, and that'll tell you I'm going to drop this picture right in between. If you drop it while it's on, then it'll cover it, and then you have to re-add that other picture. So that want to find that blue line, and then it automatically adds the prom 25. So now all of the slides are in for the announcements, and if you want to make those automatically change for you, you just click on the first one, and then you click on 5. You can also do a custom and do 4 seconds if you prefer 4 seconds. And then up here it shows you what is, sorry, I'm just getting this stuff out of our way. Up here it shows you what's on the screen, and notice that hasn't moved at all, even though we just turned on that automatic move thing, this right there. And that's because you have to click on something to make it start. So notice when I click on this, there's going to be something red pop up in this area here. So I'm going to click on that first slide again. So now this advance with this red circle, once it goes around the circle, it's going to switch to the next slide. So if you have this on at the beginning of the service, which is great and a good way to do it, then when you go to do announcements, it'll automatically be on during announcement time. And so then if someone, like if Pastor Seth is running it himself and he clicks on this Andre Van Zyl and starts talking about it, it's going to move in 5 seconds. So you can help him out by clicking it every couple seconds, because every time you click it, watch, I'm going to click again, click again. It just restarts that circle every time you click. So you can do that, or you can click on this and turn off the timer, switch it to none, and then it will continue advancing through the current slide, but once it switches to the next slide, then it would turn off. So when you make that change, you want to click on the one that you're looking at. So let me do that again for us here. We're going to do that, and 5 seconds. So now I'm going to click again, so things are moving. So we have that Andre Van Zyl. Pastor Seth just clicked it, and you're like, oh no, it's going to move. So you click it again. You switch this to none, and then you click it again so that that advance goes away, and it'll stay on it now. So it's up to you how you want to do it. You could turn these off before announcements start or as they're starting. Or you can just help him out by continually clicking on it, but then he's going to try to click on Top Golf or something. So if you can turn it off, that would be the best. That would be ideal. And then the other thing that you'll need to do and learn how to do eventually, Pastor Seth normally takes care of this, but depending on who's back here and if they know to do it, he lets them as well, is to get his stuff in the computer. So if he airdrops it, it will show up here. So in the downloads. So for the example, we had this Easter PPTX. That is PowerPoint. And so we want it to be a PowerPoint. So if it doesn't say PPTX, it says something else, we need to figure that out. So we're going to put into this the Easter as if he just airdropped this to us. It would have been up at the top here if that was true. Easter 2025, we're going to put in, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go to File. No, we're not. We're going to go to, first we're going to click on Propresenter. There we go. Now we're going to go to File, Import PowerPoint, and then this will pop up and it'll say, oh, pick your PowerPoint that you want to add, and we're going to do the Easter 2025. Click on that, and then click Import. And so now this box will come up and say, where do you want to import it to? And we're going to import it to Sermons. And that came up, just say allow, because it's going to access PowerPoint to get it in here. And so what happened is it automatically added it to the bottom of the current playlist, as well as if that doesn't happen for some reason, you go up to Sermons, and then you can type in the name of it, and it was Easter 2025, and there it is right there. But if you notice on Sunday, when it added it at the bottom, it added a -1, and that's just because it already had it with that name. So if this was a different file but just happened to have the same name of something, it will say -1. And then you can just click, hold, and drag it to where the sermon goes. And you are ready to go. And then at the end of the service, what you'll want to do is go back to letting the announcements run automatically until the sanctuary clears out. And then you are welcome to leave and let someone else turn it off for you if you have to go. If you don't have to go and you want to stay, you can stay until the room's pretty well cleared out, or everyone is just on their way out the door having very long conversations. Then you can start turning things off. And we want to also turn on the back TVs there. Hi, Keith. Welcome to our video. And then to turn on those TVs, you want to find the remote control that says front TVs, and there should be 2 of them. And you can turn them off from here. This one you have to like go to the edge of the sound booth to do. And then you can turn them on and off from here if you want to. So I just want to make sure we turn those TVs on at the beginning of the service and off at the end. Or we can leave them running and let someone else take them at the end. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.